Hello, and welcome to this session on Book-centric to content-led publishing. I'm Kat Coviduck from Virtusales Publishing Solutions, and we develop, implement and support the award-winning Biblio suite of publishing software. Biblio can be implemented in its entirety to support the full publishing lifecycle. All publishers can select the relevant solutions to solve their unique business challenges and to manage their workflows from acquisition or ideation through editorial, production, sales and marketing, rights, to publication or delivery, royalty calculations, reprints and revisions. As you can see, we work with publishers from all around the world in all shapes and sizes, spanning academic and educational publishers, professional, trade, children's, university presses, and even some UN agencies. And of course, many of them speak with us about the challenges and opportunities that they face. And one of those challenges that's particularly relevant to us as a software provider is the transition from book-centric to content-led publishing, and how publishers are reconsidering how they deliver their content to their consumers. Today we'll look at some of the reasons why publishers are considering change, some examples of how they are adapting and exploring new ideas, and we'll finish up with some takeaway points on things that you could start considering now. There are a number of reasons why publishers are making this transition from a more traditional manuscript approach towards a content-led model, most of which are related to the changing demands and expectations of the customer, whether that's an aggregator, distributor, retailer, educational institution, library, or a consumer such as a student, teacher, or interested individual. And also technology, which has clearly been having a significant effect on the publishing industry for at least the past 20 years or so, when ebooks really became mainstream in the early 2000s. Presenting both challenges and opportunities to publishers, technological improvements and innovation can have profound effects on consumer behaviour, as well as publishers' ability to meet the changing expectations of their audiences. Enabling publishers to be innovative with formats and delivery channels in order to satisfy changing demands, while also enabling publishers to reap the benefits of digitisation and automation in their back-office processes and workflows for managing their assets and metadata throughout the content creation, manufacturing process, contracts, rights, royalties, inventory and distribution, whether that's physical or digital. There's been a noticeable shift in publishing output, with average sales per title dropping and the number of individuals' titles being published increasing. Publishers are producing more and more formats to engage researchers, libraries and students with their high-quality content. And with this comes the sizable task of managing and distributing more products and metadata through more channels, including various aggregators, libraries and platforms. Additionally, the metadata that is needed isn't straightforward, with most publishers using Onyx data for sales. Institutions require different details for MARC records and KBUK files, which are critical for searching and accessing content in library systems. On top of this, content platforms and dissemination services are offering content at a more granular level, which in turn requires metadata to be provided not just for articles and abstracts, but also for chapters and other content pieces as well, which is a daunting task for publishers with a large backlist to retrospectively update. Publishers are also facing disruption and increased competition from non-traditional publishing sources, and seeing new business models and revenue streams from pay-per-view chapters to online blended learning platforms. These challenges have led to the emergence of creative new business models amongst academic publishers, hoping to overcome these pressures with innovative publishing outputs. One notable example is the rise of custom publishing, now widely offered to professors and institutions looking to build valuable and bespoke course materials, but also with the wider publishing community offering bespoke material to organisations or non-traditional markets. This is a great opportunity to create additional revenue and strengthen support, brand recognition and loyalty from institutions, whilst also creating a unique course adoption or buy-in from organisations as a trusted provider of content. With granular content gaining traction across the industry and an increase in formats combined with a decrease in sales, publishers need to streamline their processes to handle ever more data and more products, from traditional print formats to multimedia products, including audio, video, mobile apps, content platforms, and even virtual reality, often combining multiple formats in a single product. Publishers are now having to navigate a multimedia landscape where they must provide their content in multiple formats, often simultaneously, and this proliferation of formats brings the challenge of maintaining profitability without overstretching a publisher's resource. This means they need to manage and distribute high-quality metadata and assets through both traditional and new channels, offering new pricing models in order to reach their consumers. In particular, the increase of formats has added a layer of complexity with different product identifiers for what could be the same content simply packaged differently. Most traditional publishing systems are designed specifically for products that use ISBNs, and of course many of the newer formats use different identifiers, and there could also be differences with product metadata and of course the production process and distribution channels. This has meant that publishers often use separate systems and even people to produce the various products and formats, even though they are all related to a single piece of original IP. And this inevitably has an impact on the efficiency and productivity. Now, increasingly, the hardback and paperback will come out at the same time to meet the needs of different markets. The ebook is likely to have multiple formats, and better selling titles may also see a companion website with additional material from the author. Textbooks may see online resources accessed via QR codes in the print book. And of course, it's necessary to record all the different formats and products, relate them together, coordinate schedules, allow collaborative costings, plan and coordinate simultaneous printings, and distribute worldwide. Manual processes are being stripped out of the production workflow and replaced with automated and digitised workflows in order to meet the need of concurrent publication and the pressure for publishers to reduce expenditure. At the same time, publishers are seeking new income streams and ways to maximise income from their IP. Breaking content down into granular pieces and bundling content together to create brand new products, and then making them available through new models such as open access, textbook rental and subscription models for students. Many publishers are also turning to their rights and licensing departments to improve their margins. A large professional publisher interviewed for a recent BISG study on rights management said that they value their rights at 5 to 6 times the actual licensing revenue. With that in mind, it makes complete sense for publishers to leverage their content as much as possible and really make the most of the IP that they own or manage. As publishers look to reuse, repackage and repurpose their content in different formats for different channels, markets and audiences, adopting a format-agnostic workflow such as XML first means changes can be rolled out en masse to all formats at once, paving the way for content to be quickly remodelled into new format types for the future. Furthermore, digital tools are now available which allow publishers to search, extract and transform content into new publications. And alongside automation tools like these, improving internal workflows and efficiencies should be a high priority for publishers looking to reduce costs. Publishers with key data stored across multiple systems, on emails, in offline files like spreadsheets, etc., lose valuable time disseminating this information across the different departments, and likewise have time-consuming meetings. Endless chasing of files and information causes further inefficiencies that can be saved by better systems. The drive for publishers to do more with their IP, to maximise revenue across new income streams, is resulting in more complex legal agreements that define rights at a more granular level. Publishers are now sending articles and chapters through various channels and reusing content to create custom products such as bespoke textbook or for specific institutions or organisations. In theory, individual images, graphs or even equations could be reused, and so publishers are now wanting to recognise them as a sellable entity in their own right. These new types of products can be complex to manage and dissect, and of course all require their own IDs and metadata to ensure the content is easily discoverable to consumers. New pricing models and micropayments add to the complexity further, and with all of this there becomes a need for rights data at this granular level for images, chapters, etc. to be stored, which is crucial, especially when the web is increasingly crawled for images being used in books to ensure licenses are paid. It is now more important than ever for publishers to be able to manage rights, permissions and royalties for all of their formats and contents. Not only is it vital for correctly apportioning royalties and sales, but also to provide unique insights into which products are most successful and informing future publishing decisions. The supply chain is also changing, with print runs becoming shorter and pressure to reduce stock levels causing publishers to look towards inventory management systems and business intelligence tools to improve their sales forecasting and implement auto-replenishment and POD. The rise of digital products also presents a need for publishers to distribute the content files along with the associated product metadata, which without an integrated publishing system for managing metadata and assets together is no easy task and tends to involve manual processes. As more content is distributed digitally, sales data is being reported at a more granular level and sometimes more frequently, providing publishers with a new, valuable insight into the performance of their products. Publishers are looking to modelling and forecasting tools to make sense of the data and to improve, and if possible, automate their decision making. A recent article by Forbes, published earlier this year, summarises the changing trends in the publishing industry in 8 points. Smaller publishers will focus on honing their niche. Marketing will entail more valued content to the current audience. So really following up on the first point, we can expect to see publishers building customer loyalty with quality content tailored and targeted to the very specific audiences. Number 3, audio will be king as more and more people turn to audiobook platforms. Marketing budgets will be used to refine websites and SEO. Of course, we're already seeing publishers create microsites for curated content and running more and more digital campaigns. And number 5, partnerships will take precedence over competition. Podcasting will be a new norm for publishers. Digital subscribers will grow because of instant access to content, with 44% of the world's population already reading online, and according to a recent Cisco annual internet report, 82% of all online content will be video by the year 2022. And of course, the digital subscription model has obviously become more significant of recent times and is now an important source of income for many publishers. And finally, number 8, print will remain strong into the second half of this decade. So in response, publishers are looking to software to help them manage metadata and assets across products and platforms, and to improve the discoverability with automatic content tagging using AI, for example. They're seeking efficiencies by automating workflows such as the creation of new products, the analysis and evaluation of specification variations, producing quick and simple P&Ls, secure file sharing and digital distribution for permissions and digital products, as well as POD and open access. Publishers are also changing their view on rights, with many bringing rights and licensing into the core of their business and eking out as much revenue as possible from their content by repackaging and reusing it in different formats, products and geographic territories, by managing their permissions and granular deals more effectively, and by improving the management of renewals and expiring rights. Publishers are exploring new approaches to delivering content to their consumers, which is involving new formats, products, pricing models and revenue streams, and distribution channels. Here is an example showing one of the ways where publishers are repackaging content and making it available to subscribers of online content platforms such as Bloomsbury's Fashion Central. This provides curated specialist content on fashion and dress, and the Digital Hub combines 4 digital online databases of peer-reviewed content alongside textbooks, major reference works, video content and images. The platform contains a mixture of Bloomsbury-owned and third-party content in various formats, some of which is published by Bloomsbury and is available for sale through more traditional channels. This next example shows Hodder Education's Boost platform, which was launched earlier this year and provides a modern interactive digital learning platform, bringing quality content and new technology together for an innovative digital learning experience. And finally, Sage provides over 140 hours of video to support teachers as part of their education collection. Of course, we're also seeing new audiobook platforms being launched, and during the lockdowns in particular, we saw publishers and educational institutions sharing huge amounts of content digitally in various ways online and often making it available free of charge. So what can you do now? And I've got 5 points here to hopefully give you some takeaway suggestions. Number 1, enrich your metadata. I know it's often talked about, but it's really important to increase discoverability by thinking about metadata from the earliest point in a product's inception. Clarify ownership and incorporate it into your everyday workflows. Automate your metadata feeds to ensure that metadata remains accurate and up to date in all of your channels. Use tools to illustrate the power that good metadata can have on a title by giving feedback to the users responsible for it. The use of business intelligence, dashboards, and other tools can be great at visualizing and displaying the effect and positive impact on sales that rich metadata can have. Share it with your users, staff, and stakeholders as instant feedback on the impact of good metadata. Number 2, become a content curator. Being agnostic about content and format can help maximize reuse and revenues. Consider how content could be sold in a granular way, or bundled together, or potentially reused right at the start of the process. Centralise tools and systems to enable the reporting and support the early release of content. Record permissions, rights, and sales data against content for unique insights to inform strategic decisions. Without the correct rights, reuse may not be an option. Consider new models and channels. Consider non-traditional models and channels of consumption, either in the form of services or by offering agnostic formats that can be transformed into bespoke products to organisations or individuals that may not be in your normal end-user consumers, or channels or markets. Create a strategy to easily update and manage pricing centrally. This will provide the flexibility to quickly adapt to future models and channels. Number 4, refine and scale for high volumes. Think about all of the processes involved in commissioning, publishing, and distributing your content, and which of these could be automated. Review your existing workflows and validation tools. Make sure they are flexible enough to support multiple formats and do not have unnecessary procedures or steps. And make sure your publishing system has the capacity to quickly scale publishing output with batch update tools, workflows, and automation. And finally, number 5, ensure your systems are ready and capable. Avoid reliance on ISBNs to allow a single publishing system to support the creation, production, sales and marketing, financial controls and royalty payments for any type of product in any form of the intellectual property that you manage or own. Invest in a modern royalty system capable of calculating royalty payments for digital products, content items, and other new formats at the most appropriate times. This could continue to be 6 monthly for paper-based products, or could move to daily or any other period for digital products and subscription models. So in summary, success will largely depend on having the right infrastructure available to support this transition. And there's a clear benefit of investing in good publishing systems that help users manage products in high volumes, centralises workflows, and increases product visibility. Good publishing systems will also offer a wide range of batch updating tools and templates to quickly manage high volume publishing of this nature. For example. So that's all from me today. Thank you very much for listening, and please feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions. My email is on the screen at the moment. It's kat@virtusales.com. Thank you.